Greetings, everybody. My name's Dave DeWalt, and I'm the founder and CEO of NightDragon. We're coming to you live from Black Hat here in Las Vegas. Super excited. What an incredible event here in the desert in the heat of August. But wow, has cyber returned to Black Hat? It's pretty incredible to watch everything that's happening here, technology, threats, trends that are going. If you don't know, we host a State of Cyber event twice a year. We do it at the beginning of the year, and now kind of the halftime show live from Black Hat. And a lot has changed in just a short period of time. This little thing called AI, large language models, security around all of that has really entered the mind space of everything here in the cybersecurity world. So it's a great pleasure to have such an amazing individual be a part of the show today, Justin Boitano, who is the head of software, vice president of software security for NVIDIA. Justin, say hello to everybody if you would.
Hey, Dave. Justin Boitano. So nice to meet everybody. As Dave said, so I've been with NVIDIA. I joined NVIDIA in 2008 originally, and have held a number of roles. And currently now lead our enterprise AI product group, of which cybersecurity is one domain that we're seeing quite a ton of interest in at this point.
By the way, just so much congratulations. I know you've been there for a long time, and thank you for all your service. 2008, pretty amazing. Your career and success, pretty amazing. What NVIDIA has been doing as well. A little bit of news around NVIDIA recently, so congratulations on all the success. Could you talk a little bit, maybe just macro for a minute for everybody who's listening? A lot of cyber professionals hear all this. Kind of give your take in the last 6-8 months of kind of how this has evolved a little bit, both the usage and production from your view from NVIDIA, as well as maybe a little of the security side of it too.
Yeah, maybe I can start a little bit too with where NVIDIA came from, right? So, I mean, we've been pioneering accelerated computing, and this programming model we call CUDA really is a general purpose way to accelerate compute. And it's because we saw Moore's law ending years ago. You weren't going to get the generation to generation acceleration by just new CPU architectures coming out. And so we had to pioneer this full stack computing approach that really thinks through how do you drive data efficiently through these processors that are 100 times more efficient to process all the data that you want, kind of in a data center super efficiently. Now, we've over that time built a bunch of AI stacks on top of CUDA. We call these industry frameworks. We have industry frameworks for recommendation engines, for vision systems, and for cybersecurity. And really, all of these are open source. We make them easy for developers to use and get started. It helps them with the data preparation side of building an AI model, the training of it, the simulation of it, and running it in production. All of this is available on a site we call NGC, so ngc.nvidia.com for people that don't know. Once folks, though, are in production, what they typically then want is they don't just want the open source from us. They want us to secure the ongoing stack, support it with stable APIs and security patching. We offer that too now through a platform we call NVIDIA AI Enterprise. Now, the reason I'm so excited to be here to talk about cybersecurity is we see it as one of the world's biggest, I'll call it accelerating computing problems, because cybersecurity is inherently a data problem. The more data that you can see, the better you can detect things in real time and react to them. So as you can see, we're kind of developing quite a bit, and looking forward to diving deep now into the cyber discussion.
Justin, talk a little bit about, and this has been amazing for all of us, cyber professionals, because we've always known data is the heart of it, right? You got to collect the data, get visibility to the data, process the data into intelligence, take an action on that data. And now with the threat environments being so big and broad, we have 3,500 attacker groups around the world. Most chief security officers are seeing attacks measured in volumes that they've never seen before. I mean, this is a data problem at the end of the day to manage, and NVIDIA has really been leading that. What kinds of areas of cyber and security services are you seeing, and what kind of adoption are you seeing as well from your viewpoint from NVIDIA?
Yeah, so to say this clearly, NVIDIA is not a cybersecurity company. We're just an accelerated computing company. So we want to help all the cybersecurity ISVs in the world build better products that can go beyond, I'll say, the legacy approach of just helping an analyst, like look at things after the fact or use heuristics. So we're looking at this through the lens of, okay, it's a data problem like you talked about. And if we look at it as a data problem, then the use cases that we're focused on basically, help, analyze all the data through the enterprise in real time. We basically build them as a free open source into our Morpheus SDK. A couple of examples are digital fingerprinting is a good example, where we will analyze everything that a user or a machine interacts with on the network to create a unique model per user and machine. So that basically you've got a really, clean, I'll say, picture of what that person would normally do. So what you can do is start to alert security analysts on the anomalies to their normal behavior to help them respond faster. Now, people go, well, that sounds a lot like end user behavior analytics. It's a form of it, but it's to the extreme, right? Where we want to look at everything that every person's doing and build a model per user, as opposed to generalizing to create a model for all users. We're also using AI to detect things like leak sensitive data on the network, do fraud detection, provide ransomware detection, and then build, I'll say, really, really specialized, phishing detection and spear phishing detection, detectors. Now, the way that we do this, and I think we should talk about this probably too, is through generative AI. More and more, it's going to happen through generative AI. Generative AI really has the ability to really accelerate this transformation in cybersecurity of treating it like a data problem. A lot of cybersecurity ISVs that we're working with right now, I think, are starting with generative AI and thinking of it really like a co-pilot. I can train the LLM on my logs. I can help an analyst ask questions in English to search for, misconfigurations or issues in these logs, and kind of support basic threat hunting. Now, the issue is, this is, again, after incident analysis. Usually you've also got to connect these LLMs to all of your policy enforcement points across the enterprise to be efficient. So you got to look at all your identity logs, all your network logs, all your firewall logs, all in real time. And so basically we use AI to parse those logs and then basically inform these LLMs that you can ask questions to in real time through vector databases. And so we're seeing more and more of that being looked at and applied. And, the use of generative AI that I outlined is all kind of, I'll say, pretty simple stuff, to be honest. The stuff I'm excited about is like where you can take these large language models and tune them to your own domain specific data. Just yesterday, we announced a new platform we call AI Workbench. In that, we provide like reference examples for like, how do you take a llama model and tune it to your domain? We were able to program a llama model to know how to write code in a new language in under 24 hours. So it's, super powerful concepts. And we did this really to show people how easy it is. And so this AI Workbench is something that's also now out there in early access with these references of how do you apply large models to new domains. And it makes it easy to migrate these projects, all their dependencies, either to the cloud or to the data center, or collaborate with other people and ensure that you're on all the same dependencies. So generative AI, I think, is the next big thing, right? It makes it easy for humans in human language to program machines and understand what's going on. So I think that's the next big thing that we're going to see for sure.
Justin, we really appreciate everything you're doing. Last question for you, and I know you know this very well. Sitting here at Black Hat, we have thousands of chief security officers here at Black Hat. There's thousands listening to this event as well. What advice do you give them, right? The first wave of this was, just block all the websites that my developers or teams could use to download some open source thing because we're scared of privacy or compliance or security of some sort. Now everybody is realizing, wow, we got to get educated, we got to get informed. There's so much here, like NVIDIA's platform that you have. What advice do you have for the chief security officers now as we sit halfway through 2023?
Yeah, that's a great question, and so I think it's an easy answer from my point of view. It's every CISO really needs to start asking their vendors to be forward-looking on how do you apply AI to automate this real-time analysis with full visibility. And obviously, we want to be working with all these ISVs to drive our AI runtime into their platforms to help them see and respond more quickly. We're also kind of the only accelerated computing company out there. I'll just say this for the CISOs that has announced support for things like confidential computing. So when you think of running AI, across all your security infrastructure, as this becomes more and more critical to protecting your enterprise, you want to protect those models using something like confidential computing going forward. And then finally, I think we're going to quickly see a lot of changes with generative AI, going from a co-pilot to being used to simulate attacks and really train better defensive models. Generative AI has this ability to fill this data gap where we may never have seen novel attacks before. We can now simulate those. We can use adversarial networks to make them, more and more nasty, I guess. But the end goal should be training defensive techniques, right, to protect our estates. Where we're going and where we advocate people go is you want to end up at a state where you have AI writing policies and settings itself. So when you deploy policy as code, you can think of the AI can write the software to fix the policies, and this gets you very fast and immediate ability to react to what you're detecting and fix the policy enforcement points across your enterprise. So I think as you have thousands or tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of assets, and billions of configurations, any one of them could be that thing that exposes you. And so you need artificial intelligence to detect and react and write code in real time.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most influential and important experts in the world, Justin Boitano from NVIDIA. Thank you for coming on this show. Thank you for all the work you're doing. Thank you for the education you have here, and look forward to working with you a lot more in the future. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. Pleasure being here.
Thank you.